Hey guys, it's me Julia, and all my friends that care about this story have already heard it a million times, so I'm going to tell you guys because I really want to tell it again because I'm really excited about it. So, as some of you may know, I met Dan and Phil. And if you don't know who Dan and Phil are, they are two YouTubers that have been on YouTube for a really long time, and they're best friends, and they live together, and they're super awesome. I went to their stage show, Tatinof, The Amazing Tour Is Not on Fire, and I got to meet them, which was crazy. So originally I didn't even think I was going to be able to go to the show because I had an internship in California and they were going to be in my hometown when I was leaving for California, and I was so upset about it. And then my mom surprised me and was like, hey, they're going to be where you are in California, only an hour away, so we can find someone to take you and you can go meet them and see them. I was freaking out. Of course, knowing me, I tried to do extra and I asked for a meet and greet ticket, and they were sold out, which made me really sad. But then my mom found some, and that was amazing. So I got to meet Dan and Phil, which is crazy. So I got to see them in Cupertino, California. When I was standing in line for the meet and greet, one of their stage manager people asked me if I had an internet support group question. He was like, don't make it too serious. You know, we still want to be lighthearted and funny, but make it something. And so I was thinking, and I couldn't think of what question to do, so I said, sorry, I don't have anything, and I passed it up, and I could have been in the show. Dan could have answered my question, but nope. All hope is not yet lost. After that, we were waiting in line. We went inside, all the meet and greet people, and there was a little box that said the 7-second challenge, and I was like, hey, maybe they'll do my 7-second challenge. So I gave them the 7-second challenge of, Dan, stand perfectly still while Phil tickles your neck. If you know anything about the fandom and Dan, you know that Dan hates it when people touch his neck, so I was like, this is gonna be good. Putting all that aside, I was talking to the people next to me in line when suddenly we just heard screams, and I whipped around and there was Dan and Phil running out and saying hello to everybody, and it was crazy. Oh. Dan took a selfie with all of us, with Phil, and then they went behind the little background, and I was so excited and so pumped. And then, before I knew it, it was my turn. So I rounded the corner and I was just like, oh wow, because they are so tall. They're like 6'3", so freaking tall. And their heads and they're just huge. I knew this, but seeing them in person, but unfortunately I said that out loud and Dan just started laughing at me and it was really embarrassing. And then he saw that I put cat whiskers on my face and he's like, oh my gosh, you look so cute. I love the cat whiskers. And then he said hello after the fact and I hugged him and it was the best thing ever. And then I went and hugged Phil. And he does the best hugs ever and I was freaking out. So I gave them my book, which is right here conveniently. I gave them my book to sign, and I asked them if they would make up a quote, and I meant both of them, but Dan kind of took up all the room, and look! I don't know if you can read it, but Dan wrote, dream of memes. He signed it, and it was so cute, and Phil asked me how my day was going, and I said good, and he was like, amazing! All Phil, and it was so, it was fantastic. So then, in my head, I really wanted to do a group hug picture. That would be really cute, you know, us all squeezing together. Wouldn't that be cute, right? I looked at them and I was like, can we do a fan-wich? Get it? Like a sandwich?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
And then I looked up at Dan and I was about to say group hug, and then I just saw him, and the only word that came to mind was squish. So I was like, you know, like squish. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. And Dan was like, oh yeah, sure. So, you know, they both put their hands on my shoulders and this picture happened. And then in that moment I was like, no, that's not what I mean. So I looked up at Dan, and as I did, my arm went like that and his Sharpie was uncapped right there and it drew a line on my arm. So I had a Sharpie line on my arm because of clumsy old Dan. Anyway, I looked up at him and I was gonna say, no, I meant a group hug. But as soon as I saw his lovely face, what did I say? No, I mean squish. It was so embarrassing. I'm just picturing it now. Dan right here and Phil right here, just going, squish, squish, I mean squish. So of course he's like, yeah, okay. And they did the same exact thing. And I was like, you know what, guys? It's all good. It's all good. So I was like, thanks. And we split up. And then the last awkward part of the meet and greet, towards the end, while they were saying bye, I looked at Phil and I was like, I just did that. I just stood there like that in front of Phil. And he looked at me like, bye. And then he realized that I wanted another hug and hugged me. And I don't even remember that hug because I was just overwhelmed with emotions and feels. And oh my gosh, I just awkwardly to Phil Lester, the sunshine of the world, I just, just my luck. So anyway, the show started and I was in the third row because VIP gets the pit. So they're playing a bunch of awesome songs before, and then the songs just turned off and the stage went black, and oh my gosh, it was crazy. Anyway, during the show, 2 amazing things happened. Number 1, remember how I said I did that 7-second challenge? Yeah, well it turns out of the 2,000 people, they hand-selected 7 7-second challenges. And they went through about 2, and then I heard Phil go, this one's from Julia. And I was like, no, it has to be a different Julia. It cannot be me. Like, not even a chance. Like, no way. And then he reads, Dan, stand perfectly still while Phil tickles your neck. And I started crying. I was just sitting there in my seat like this. And then I saw Phil walk over to Dan, and then I saw Dan go, no! And then I was just crying, so I didn't even see what happened next. And then I heard someone say, Julia! And I looked up, and it turned out Dan was staring me right in the eye and was like, thank you, Julia. All sassy like Dan does. I was dying with feels, and it was crazy. I still can't even process that. I completely missed it. And because there were no recordings allowed, I didn't even catch it on camera. And I have been searching the internet to find a recording of that, and I still haven't found it. So if any of you all can help me, please, 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 I need your help to find a video of that happening. Thank you. Anyway, the second thing that happened was they were throwing out plates to everybody. It said, I went to #Tatinof and all I got was this lousy plate. So I got a really cool plate, which is put on my wall right there, and I don't want to take it off, but I will put a picture right here. Then, Dan was doing an existential crisis, and he laid down on the stage right in front of me and just stared at me in the eye for a solid 2 minutes. And I'm sure that's every fangirl's dream, and at the time I was like, soak it in, but it was really, really awkward having Dan stare at you straight in the eye. Sorry for that, but yeah, that's what happened. Overall, I would say that that was an amazing experience. It was so much fun to meet them. They are so funny. Their show is amazing. It was so much fun. I met some people that are my friends now, my internet friends, which is really cool. And meeting them was crazy, even though it went completely wrong, but that's okay. I still met them, and I'm still so, so grateful for that. So if you're watching, which is a very small chance you are, thank you, Dan and Phil, for everything you've done for me. When I met you guys, I really wanted to tell you that your videos have made me smile and saved my life, and I know that that's a really cheesy thing to say and a ton of people say it, but it's true, and in the moment I didn't get to say it because I was so overwhelmed, so I am saying it now. So thank you so much. It was amazing. The last story time I did, people really seemed to love, and of course I'm not doing this for views and popularity. I'm doing this because I'm just really overly a fangirl, and I really love to talk about things that I am passionate about, and no one wanted to listen to me! So, you are my friend, camera, and I am talking to myself alone to a camera because no one else wants to hear it, but that's okay! Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up because that will make me really, really happy. And make sure to share it with your friends. And hey, comment below and let me know whatever you're thinking. Okay, bye!
Hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Would you like to sign your book? Awesome. Yes, there we go.
Are you having a good day? Yes. Amazing.
There we go. Would you like me to take this one for us?
These guys take the
Of
full
course.
Okay. Yes, of course. Okay. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the show.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate
Yes,
coming.
yes.
Have a good night.
Guys, enjoy the show. Thank you so
Good
much.
night.